we have u plus v. Now here, looking at this, the coefficient here, we have 3 plus 2, I, plus 4 minus 3, j. So this is going to be 5i plus 1j. And we're interested in the direction of u plus g. And the rule is to get the direction, which is theta, is going to be tan inverse of b over a. So this is going to be my a, this is going to be my b. So that is tan inverse of 1 over 5. And here, using my calculator, yeah, we should have the tan inverse of 1 over 5 should be equivalent to 11.3 degrees. Or approximately, we should have 11 degrees. Now, looking at this, and the options given to us here, you can see that none of the options is the same thing as 11 degrees. Then what do we do? One thing I would like you to know is that these are given in 3 digits. So now, recall in our bearing class, you can check my channel, you can see my videos on bearing for the 3 digits and the 2 digits. This bearing is taken from the north. Okay, we have the north, we have the east, south, and the west. So here we have 11 degrees. That is, from here, we have 11 degrees. Okay? So taking it in this way, because you're going like this, if you are going anti-clockwise, anti-clockwise. Here, everything is 90 degrees. So that shows that from here down to here is going to be what? 79. So this is equivalent to saying we have 79 degrees on a 3 scale. So they are still equivalent. So this is question number 20. And I would like you to follow me. So question number 21. See you next time. Bye. 19. Now looking at this, we have the dot product of P and Q is 1, where we have the value of Q, P to be this and Q to be that. Find the value of X. So we have the answers given to us as this. But before I do this, let me just explain something to you. You see, when we have an example of this, P equals to A1I plus B1J. And we have Q to be A2I plus B2J. If you want to find the cross product of these two terms, just multiply A1 by A2. Because they are both having the same thing. So multiply the coefficients. Here to B1 multiplied by B2. So you multiply the corresponding coefficients together. That's it. Now let's use the same approach. Then we have P times Q. So for I, the coefficient here is 3 over 5. Multiplied by the coefficient of I here, which is negative 5 over 3. Plus the coefficient of J, which is X, times the coefficient of J here, we have 4 over 7. And we are told that the cross product is what? 1. I mean, the dot product is 1. So now, looking at this, 5 cancel out 5, 3 cancel out 3. Here we have negative 1 plus 4x over 7 equals to 1. So now, looking at this, if negative 1 goes to the other side, here we have 4x over 7 equals to 2. And now, cross multiplying, here we have 4x equals to 7 times 2, which is 14. This is just cross multiply. Dividing both sides by the coefficient of x, which is 4. So finally we have our x to be equals to 2 here 2, 2 here 7, 7 2. And the right answer is going to be option A. Thank you very much for watching. If you find this very interesting, please don't forget to follow me. And you're going to see the next question, question 20. Bye. Welcome back, viewers. Today we'll be doing question number 18. It says, calculate the standard deviation of these values. And we have the options given to us here. Now, to do this here, these values are going to be the population values, okay, not the sample values. So we are using the population parameter. For the standard deviation, we have sigma to be the square root of summation xi minus mean squared over n. So the mean is the population mean. This is population mean, population standard deviation. Now, let's compute the mean first. The mean is 1 over n summation xi. Here, I ranges from 1 to 6. Our I ranges from 1 to 6. Why? Because we have 6 observations. Now, to do this, the summation of xi is 2 plus 7 plus 10 plus 11 plus 16 plus 20. Dividing this by 6. Now, if you add all this together, this should give us 66 over 6. And that makes the mean to be 11. Now, let's plug in this into this. Let's compute our summation of xi minus mu on squared. So to compute this, that means you want to subtract the mean of each of the observations and you square the values. Now, that is going to be, the first observation here is 2. 2 minus 11 squared plus 7 minus 11 squared plus 10 minus 11 squared plus 11 minus 11 squared plus 16 minus 11 squared, and lastly plus 20 minus 11 squared. Now, this is going to be 22 minus 11 is going to be negative 9. If you square that, you have 81. 7 minus 11 is going to be negative 4. Squaring that, you have 16. 10 minus 11 is negative 1. If you square that, we have 1. This is going to be 0. 16 minus 11 is 4. 5. Squaring that, we have 25. 20 minus 11 is going to be 9. Square 9 squared is going to be 81. Now, using my calculator, I'm going to add everything together. 81 plus 16 plus 1 plus 25 plus 81. And this gives 204. Now, if you plug in that value into this equation, okay, so the numerator is going to be 204 divided by 6. So let's continue here. Sigma is going to be 204 divided by 6 is going to be root 34. And the square root of 34 should be 5.83. So this makes option A to be the right answer. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Bye. Welcome back, viewers. Today I'll be doing question number 17. It says, find the value of x for which this determinant equals to 14. And we have these options given to us here. How do we do this? Now, by doing this, the issue of determinants is pretty much easy and straightforward. Let me just explain something to you. If you have a determinant of A, B, C, D, if you want to find the determinant of this, multiplying these two terms, which is A times D, minus multiply these two, B times C. This is the general form for simplifying determinants, and I'm going to use the same approach here. So now, I'm going to multiply these two together. So here I'm having 2x multiplied by negative 5 minus negative 3 multiplied by x. Negative 3 multiplied by x okay, equal to what? 14. So this is what we have. Let's simplify it for them. Here we have 2x times negative 5. Here I'm going to have negative 10x. Negative times negative is going to be positive. 3 times x is going to be what? 3x equals to 14. Negative 10 plus 3x is going to be negative 7x equals to 14. Dividing both sides by the coefficient of x, which is negative 7, negative 7. This cancel out this, I'm having x. 7 here 1, 7 here 2. I'm having negative 2. Looking at this option, my right answer should be option D. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to follow. See question number 18. See you next time. Bye. Hello viewers. Today we'll be doing question number 16. It says, find the coefficient of the system in ascending powers of x in the binomial expansion of this. And we have the options given to us. Now to do this, we need to use the general form for binomial distribution or binomial expansion that says that we have a plus b to the power of n. So for the general form, we have summation k equals to 0 to n. Then we have n combination k, a to the power of n minus k. And here we have b to the power of k. So this is the binomial distribution. And now, in our case here, we have t k plus 1 for the sixth term to be equals to n choose k. We have specific value of k. Okay? A to the power of n minus k and b to the power of k. Now, if you have a look at this, it's the same thing with this. Okay? So we want to make sure the coefficients are equivalent. From here, a is the same thing as 1. So we have a to be 1. And here we have b to be negative 3 over 4. B is going to be negative 3 over 4. And here, n is going to be 9. Here my n is 9. Don't forget, we are working with a sixth term. So that shows that here we are interested in T6. That is k plus 1 equals to 6. Equivalently, my k is the same thing as 5. Now let's plug in these values into this given equation. Now to do that, here we have tk plus 1, which is the same thing as T6, to be equals to n choose k. N is 9, combination k, which is 5. A is 1. So n minus k is 9 minus 5. B is negative 3 over 4. So the power of k, which is 5. Let's simplify further. Here we have the sixth term to be equals to 9 combination 5. If you do that, we have 9 combination 5 to be 1, 2, 6. The 1 to the power of 9 minus 5 is still going to be 1. So this is gone. Times negative 3 to the power of 5. 3 to the power of 5 is going to be 2, 4, 3. Don't forget the negative sign is going to be maintained. 4 to the power of 5. 4 to the power of 5. We have that to be 1, 0, 2, 4. So this is what we've got. Now, let's simplify further. 126 times 243. Or you can divide by 2 if you want. If you divide this by 2 here, you have 63 times negative 243. And if you divide this by 2, we have 5, 1, 2. Now let's multiply. 63 times 243. So here my calculator is showing me that then we have negative 15309 divided by 512. So this is the answer to the lowest term. This is the answer to the lowest term. And if you look at that here, 15309 over 512. So the answer should be option A. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to see question number 17. See you next time. Bye. Question number 15. It says, given that the squared y over the x squared equals x minus 1, and we have the y prime of 1 to be this, and y of 0 to be this. What this is saying is the second derivative is given as x minus 1. And we have the first derivative of y to 1 to be this and that. Find y of x. If I'm going to solve this question, it's going to take a few minutes to do. But in the case of an examination, there is a shortcut for you just to look at the question and pick the answer. And what is that? You can see that this is second derivative. And here we are talking about the function of y. It means just integrate this twice. Yes, this is the shortcut before doing anything. And the first integral is x squared over 2. The second integral is s cubed over 6. And this is the only option that has s cubed over 6. So you don't need to stress yourself, just pick the answer and you move on. Well, how do we solve this? Now, let's do this. Now, the second derivative has been given as this. What about the first derivative? So to get the first derivative means you want to integrate both sides. So that means you find the integral of this with respect to the x. Now, when you integrate this is going to be x squared over 2. The constant term is going to be minus x plus c1, which is the constant. This is the first one. And you have, this is the first integral. This is the same thing as saying divide the x. Okay, now, the first derivative when x equals to 1, you want to equate this to 5. Right? So what this is telling you is that this plug in x equals to 1 into this equation. So here we have 1 squared over 2 minus 1 plus c1 equals to 5. And here we have 1 over 2 minus 1 plus c1 equals to 5. To get the c1, then we have c1 to be equals to 5. Half minus 1 is negative half. If you move it to the other side, it's going to be what? Plus half. So c1 is the same thing as saying 11 over 2. That is the c1. So the y prime here, when you plug in this, so your first derivative is just going to be this equation when x equals to 1. Okay, when x equals to 1. So you can rewrite this, since you've gotten the constant term, to be x squared over 2 minus x plus 11 over 2. How about for the function of y? So what we have to do is to integrate this again. So here we can have our y of x. Okay? Now your y, let me just put this, is now going to be, if you integrate this first term, here we have s cubed over 3 times 2, which is 6. Minus, if you integrate this, we have x squared over 2. If you integrate this constant, here we have 11x over 2 plus c2, which is the constant. Now, next to do is when x is 0. Okay, when x is 0, what do you have? So here you are going to have this when x is 0. So if you plug in here, we have 0 cubed over 6 minus 0 squared over 2 plus 11 times 0 over 2 plus C2 equals to 6. Okay? So that means your y of 0 is going to be what? Here, this means your C2 is going to be what? 6. Because all these terms are going to be 0. Now, we've gotten C2 to be 0. So that means your y of x to be equals to sk over 6 plus minus x squared over 2 plus 11x over 2 plus, what is our C2? Which is 6. So I think there's a mistake here on the options written. Then this should be 6. Because this is going to be the best option to fill in this. Okay? So this should be 6 from the options. Now, this is the answer to the problem. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to see question 16. Thank you. See you next time. Question 14. It says, if m and n are the roots of this equation, and m squared plus n squared equals to 8, find the positive value of k. Now, let's go back to something here. Here we have the equation given to us as x squared plus kx plus 4 equals to 0. I want you to recall that when we talk about the root of the equation, okay, this is the same thing as saying x squared plus, since m and n are the roots of the equation, this is m plus n x plus m n equals to 0. Yes. Yes. Now, we are very versatile with using alpha and beta for the root of equation, but it's the same thing defined as this. Now, from here, you can see that your m plus n is the same thing as k. Also, our mn is the constant, which is 4. So the addition of the root is going to be the coefficient of the variable x. And the product of the root is going to be the same thing as the constant term. Okay. Now, once we've done this, what next? I want you to also recall that when we have m plus n all squared, this can be simplified as saying m squared plus n squared minus 2mn when you factorize, expand the bracket. Now, from here, look at this equation. You can say that you have m squared plus n squared to be equals to m plus n all squared minus 2mn. Now, this makes some sense. We have m squared plus n squared. And here we've been given this condition that m squared plus n squared is 8. So we can plug in this as 8. M plus n, we've gotten that to be k. So we have k squared minus 2mn. 2, what is mn? 4. Now, here we have our k squared to be equals to 8 plus 8. 2 times 4 is 8. So here we have k squared to be equals to 16. And to get a value of k, just find the square root of both sides. And k equals to what? 4. Because the square root of 16 is 4. So the answer is option D. Thank you very much for watching. Please follow me to see question number 15. See you next time. Bye. Multiplication click for table 7. The normal way of doing this is we have 7, 14, 1, 8, 35, 42, 49, and this gives 56, 63, and 70. This is the usual way of doing it. Then, what is the advanced way? And I see this as the easiest way. Start with 0 here, and let's start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we're going to start with 0, 1, 2. Again, start with 2, 3, 4. Again, start with 4, 5, 6, and 7. You can see this is the multiplication tree for table 7. Follow for more. Question 13. It says the operation star is defined on the set of real numbers R by x operation y, defined as this, where x, y is positive. Evaluate 7 operation 4. This is very easy, and I would say this is a standard question. Why? Look at the options. They look so tempting. They look almost alike. So you can't just guess and pick any answer from this. You have to simplify to get the exact answer. This is a standard question. Now, let's have a look at this. It said x operation y. What you just have to do is substitute x to the 7 and also y to the 4. X operation y, 7 operation 4. Just that. Now, anywhere you see x, plug in 7. If you see y, plug in 4. Divide by 2 root 7 plus 3 root y. After this, what next? This is a solve. And when you have a solved problem, the next thing you have to do is to what? Rationalize. Why? Because look at this. You're having two separate solve here, separated by addition. So you have to rationalize to get rid of this solve. So by rationalizing, so here we have multiplied both numerator and denominator by this denominator by changing this sign. So here we have 2 root 7 minus 3 root y. So y can be changed with 4. 4. So here we have 2 root 7 minus 3 root 4. Now, the next is to multiply out. By multiplying out, root 7 times 2 root 7 is going to be 2 times 7. Don't forget in question number 1, I gave you a rule that says that root a times root a equals to a. So this is what I used over here. You can go back to question 1. The rules were stated in question number 1. Root 7 times negative 3 root 4. Then you have negative 3 root 28. Minus root 4 times 2 root 7. You have 2 root 28. Okay? And from here too, then we have negative root 4 multiplying negative 3 root 4. You have plus 3 times 4. Alternatively, you can simplify root 4 as 2. Then you will continue doing this. Now, 2 root 7 times 2 root 7, you have 4 times 7. 2 root 7 times negative 3 root 4, here we have 6 root 28. The same thing here, plus 3 root 4 times this, you have plus 6 root 28. 3 root 4 multiplied by negative 3 root 4, we have negative 9 times 4. Now, if you look at this can be cancelled out. And we can proceed by simplifying this. So here we have 2 times 7 to the what? 14. Minus 5 root 28. Don't forget root 28 is the same thing as 7 times 4. Okay? These are just coefficients. So you can add up the values together. So plus 3 times 4, which is 12. Divided by 4 times 7, 28, minus 9 times 4, which is 86. And here, 14 plus 12 is the same thing as 26 minus 5 times square root of 4. You can do that separately. You can check some of my videos on sort. I have a playlist on sort. You can check it. With 7. 28 minus 36. Okay? 28 minus 36 should be negative 8. So here, at the top, we have 26 minus 5 times 2. 10 with 7 all over negative 8. So you can distribute negative 8 to each of them. I've explained this too in my previous video. The rule that says when you have A plus B over C, it can be A over C plus B over C. You can check my previous video on this. Now, here, by dividing this to the lowest term, 2 here, 13. Let me just put the answer here. 2 here, 13. You have the negative sign outside. 2 in 8, you have 4. Negative, negative is going to be positive. 2 in 10, we have 5. And 2 in 8, we have 4. So here we have negative 13 over 4 plus 5 over 4 with 7. Now let's check the options. You can see here that option B matches the required answer. Thank you very much for watching. Please follow me for more videos to see question number 14. Thank you. Next. Today I'll be doing question number 12. It says, if y equals 2 minus x over 3 plus 5x, find the y dx. This is calculus. How do we do this? If you look at this, this is something we call the quotient rule. We have the product rule and we have the quotient rule in calculus. So to do this, let the numerator be u. Let u to be equals to 2 minus x. And also let v to be equals to 3 plus 5x. So the numerator is u and the denominator is v. Now, what is the derivative of u with respect to x? Du dx. If you differentiate this, this is a constant, right? So you don't need this. This is going to be 0. But if you differentiate negative x, it's going to be negative 1. What about if you differentiate the v with respect to x? Like I said, 3 is a constant. Don't worry about this. 5x. If you differentiate 5x, this is going to be 5. Now, what is the formula for the quotient rule? Okay. Now, the derivative, the y dx. If you want to differentiate this function with respect to x, we're going to use v du dx minus u dv dx all over v squared. So this is the formula for the quotient rule. And now we want to plug in the values in this. So what is v? v is 3 plus 5x. We have 3 plus 5x. What is du dx? Negative 1. Minus u, which is 2 minus x. dv dx is what? 5. Everything over v squared. What is v squared? 3 plus 5x squared. Now by doing this, your work is easy. And you can proceed from here. So now, let's bring out the bracket. Negative 1 times 3 is going to be negative 3. Negative 1 times 5x is going to be negative 5x. Negative 5 times 2 is going to be negative 10. Negative 5 times negative x is going to be positive 5x. And here we have 3 plus 5x squared. Now, from here, negative negative 5x plus 5x cancelled out. Negative 3, negative 10 is going to be negative 13. And here we have 3 plus 5x squared. Now, if you look at the options, negative 13 is this. 3 plus 5x is this. So the right answer should be option B. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to see question 13. And the previous questions have been solved. You can check this page for the previous sections. It's under the playlist of Y 2025 for the mathematics. See you next time. Bye. 11. It says, given that 11, P, Q, R, S, T, and 29 are consecutive terms of the linear sequence, that is the arithmetic progression, find the value of P plus Q plus R plus S plus T. How do we do this? This is arithmetic progression problem. Don't forget that for the arithmetic progression, to get the number of times, we have this formula Tn equals A plus N minus 1 D. And here, the first term, our first term is 11. You can say the last term is 29. Okay? But actually, we don't need this L. But at the same time, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the seventh term is the last term, which is 29. So here you can say T7 equals to A, which is 11, plus 7. N is 7 minus 1. D equals to what? 29. Now we have the 7th term to the 29. This is what this is saying. Now let's simplify. Here we have 11 plus 7 minus 1 is 6D equals to 29. Simplifying further, here we have 6D equals to 29 minus 11. And here we have 6D to be equals to 29 minus 11 is the same thing as 18. Dividing both sides by 6, then my common difference D is 10. Now, this is easy. We know the common difference to be 10. And for the arithmetic progression, we have the same common difference. That is, the common difference here is 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. So if the first term is 3, and so if the first term is 11, then our T2, which is second term, which is the same thing as P, should be 11 plus 3, which is 14. Our third term, which is Q, should be 14 plus 3. That is the previous term plus the common difference, which should be 17. Our T4 should be R, which is 17 plus 3, which is 20. Our fifth term should be S, which is 20 plus 3, which is 23. Also, our sixth term should be T, which is 23 plus 3, which is 26. Look at the seventh term. 26 plus 3 is going to give you 29. So now, what you just have to do to get P, Q, R, S, T is to add up this. If you add up this, then we have 14 plus 17 plus 20 plus 23 plus 26. 17 plus 23 gives 40, plus this 60, plus this 80, 86, 96, 100. So the answer is D. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to follow me for more subsequent videos. That is question 12. See you next time. This is question number 10. It says, if P is this and Q is that, where X is an integer, find P intersection Q. Now, what we have to do first is write out the element in P. Now, we have P, which is X, such that X from 0 to 6. Now, if you look at this inequality, you can see that x is greater than 0. That is what this is talking about. That is, the value of x starts from value greater than 0, which is 1. 2, less or equals to 6. That means 6 is inclusive. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. These are the elements of P. What about Q? Here we have x such that 1 less or equals to x. That means less or equals to shows 1 is inclusive, and also 7 is also inclusive. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. And the question is, what is P in intersection Q? That is, the element you find a P simultaneously you can find in Q. This is what you need. So this 1 is present, 2 present, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 is not present in both. So if you look at this element, it's the same thing as P. So here, P intersection Q gives element which is equivalent to the element in P. So the answer is option A. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to see question number 11. Thank you. Welcome back, viewers. Today we'll be doing question 9 of our past question 2025. Now, having a look at it, says the third and the seventh times of an exponential sequence, which is geometric progression, and 9 and 1, 9. Find the first term. Now, to do this, we have the third term to be 9. So don't forget, the formula is Tn equals a r to the power of n minus 1. And now we have T3, which is the third term, which is a r, now n is 3, which is 3 minus 1, equals to what? 9. That is, you have your T3, which is a r squared, equals to 9. Okay, secondly, we have the seventh term, which is T7 to be a r 7 minus 1 equals to 1/9. And here you can say that a r 7 minus 1 is 6 equals to 1/9. Now, to get the first term, the first thing you have to do is to get a common ratio. Then you can use that, plug in to get the first term. So let's do this. Let's use T7 divided by T3. Because we are working with ratios. Now here we have T7 divided by T3. Our T7 is a r to the power of 6, a r to the power of 2. This is 1/9 divided by 9. So now a can cancel out a. So here we have r to the power of 6 dividing r to the power of 2. We have